little rabbity bit there on the side of my head. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Era Military Collectibles and the usual madness that is of a Friday night live stream at 8 o'clock. So, as always, we'll give it a few minutes for people to come in. Hopefully, the normal regulars will be here. Hopefully, there'll be new people here. If there's new people here, there's new people here. If not, um, that's up to you, but normally the regulars will arrive. But so, tonight's live stream, we're actually going to talk about military stuff. If any of you don't, if you are a new subscriber to the channel and you want to know what is actually going on, this is a military channel. We talk about military collectibles. Era Military Collectibles says it in the name. Era Ireland Military Collectibles. So, what we do is we collect stuff on the channel from First World War, Second World War, Vietnam, specifically Australian stuff, but we do have American stuff as well. Operation Banner and Falklands. If any of you don't know what Operation Banner is the Troubles in Northern Ireland, depending on what side of the divide you're from. And here's people arriving. Podrick is here, Nick is here, and Skills. Evening. How are you? Good evening to you all. So that's what the channel is about. And we just normally have on the live stream, excuse me if someone gone down the wrong pipe. The normal live stream is general mayhem and madness, and we talk about whatever you want to talk about as the subscriber. So, be more than welcome to use the comments section there. There's a lot of moderators around the place, so if you're not politically correct, they will be dealing with you. Oh, you came from Living History UK, fantastic. So you came from Steve's side, and Pete's side, and Jake's side. Yeah, I do hope to make it to the Living History Festival, which is plans. Everything is going ahead of going to schedule. So I'm not going to jinx it, which would, but it is the 8th and 9th. Sorry, I'm traveling on the 8th. It is the 9th and 10th of April. So yeah, so I will be there. I won't be participating in a display. I probably will be decked out in off banner stuff or something like that. But I'm, from what I understand, talking to Steve, is I'll be helping out with admin and setting up things and bits and bobs, because I am on my Todd and I'm not part of the group, which is understandable. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, so that's the 8th. Sorry, I keep getting the dates mixed up because I'm traveling on the 8th. It is the 9th and 10th of April, and it is in, if any of the lads can pronounce it and put it up there in the thingy, it is the Cheltenham Open Air Museum. Cheltenham Open Air Museum. Can't pronounce that. I'm English, or I'm Irish. I'm sorry. You have different names on things. I come from perfect. It's Little Zibix, but oh, okay. How are you? Stan, how are you? Welcome. Stan is a normal lunatic that arrives here on the live streams. Stan actually has a very good YouTube channel as well. Stan Steelhammer. Stan, it's written there. Go check him out as well. Podrick, heading up to Derry tomorrow to see the Free Derry Museum. If you have been up the part of the woods, would you recommend it? Yes, I have been to the Free Derry Museum. Those of you that are not familiar with Derry, London Derry / London Derry, whatever way you want to call it, Derry, in relation to the Troubles in Northern Ireland, had a massive part in the Troubles. Bloody Sunday, we all know what Bloody Sunday is. Bloody Sunday was there obviously in Derry, the Civil Rights March, and the Free Derry Museum is basically runs from the start of when you walk in the door. It's the start of the march where they're formed, and it goes down the same route. It's done out as the same route the march actually took on the Derry March, or the Civil Rights March that day, down into the shootings of what happened, things like that. They have some very interesting and sad artifacts there as well, because there were so many tribunals and so many courts of inquiries and stuff like that, that they actually have the clothes, unfortunately, that people were wearing the day they were killed. and you can actually see the rounds where the rounds struck and things like that. So it is a very sad and somber museum, but I would recommend going and seeing it. Yeah, sorry. Where have we gone? Basically, thanks for the short, but I'm good. Thanks, mate. Going to go, but I'm going to pop back in a bit. Thanks. No problem. You're more than welcome to come back. Um, More than welcome to come back. You're always welcome here. Living History UK, the very man we were just talking about. Well, Steve, how are you? Andrew's in. Welcome, Andrew. Uh, Andrew, your playlist has been watched and rewatched because I upgraded in the man cave. If you can tell, I have a telly now. All the helmets are up there. I now have a telly in the man cave. Um, and Stan's recommendation was to get a DVD player, so I got a cheap little DVD player. Beat you there, Steve. So Steve is here now as well. Yeah, there's just someone here. I don't know what that's about. I'm hearing things. The old post-traumatic stress disorder is kicking in. Yeah, so that's it. So, Living History UK is here. Steve. Any of you don't know who Steve is? Sorry, I'm just going to have a brew. Steve is the one of the main organisers for Living History UK, and he is also a member in the Oxen Bucks Living History Society, or I think that's what they call themselves. They're running a festival in April 9th and 10th in Cheltenham Open Air Museum. I will be going there. Okay, touch wood, everything going smoothly. I will be going there. I won't be participating in a display, but I will possibly have up banner gear on me or something like that. But I will be helping out, from what I understand, in admin and general helping out, setting things up and stuff like that. And I will be doing some filming there. But if you're in the area, go check it out. It is basically, it's, how do I describe it? It's not your normal military show, whereas this is immersion into military history. So the groups that are going to be there, and there will be talks. Simon Moore is doing a talk. Ramsey, I believe, is doing a talk. Jake is doing a talk. Forgive me if there's other people that I've missed out that are doing talks. But they're doing talks on specific pieces of history and in relation to specific operations and things like that. Those lads will be there. There will be groups there, or whatever. So if you're into military history and you actually want to see genuine hand-picked groups at a military history event, go see it out. Go check it out. April 9th and 10th. I keep getting it mixed up. I keep saying April 8th and 9th, but I'm traveling on the 8th, so it will be the 9th and 10th of April. So, yes, and he also has coming out, he also does these reproduction ration boxes. Mine's in my bag somewhere over there. That are fantastic. I do have a video coming up on it, but Simon is doing a video first. So I'm going to wait till Simon's is up. If any of you don't know who Simon is Rifleman Moore. I'll wait till his is up, and then I'll do mine, and then we'll be good to go. It'll be amazing to see you there, John. Yeah, fingers crossed, touch wood, I will be there. There'll be no hassle there in relation to that. Now, getting back to military history, people have been asking me what we should be doing here on the channel. This channel is based around you, the subscriber. I do what you like, right? Off banner stuff is always popular. Irish history stuff is always popular. The Troubles, off banner, the Troubles / the Troubles is always popular because people don't know much about that history, and especially they don't know it from the side of the South. So that's always popular. Vietnam stuff is popular. World War II stuff is popular. First World War stuff is popular. Right. The problem that I'm having is people want to see one thing, right? And when I show that thing, they get annoyed that I'm not doing World War II. Okay. So I'm going to do a schedule. So there's going to be 4 weeks. There's obviously 4 weeks in a month. for each weekend, I'll upload on a Saturday and a Sunday after the live stream, okay? So I upload on a Saturday and Sunday. Every weekend is going to be dedicated to a time phrase, period. I collect First World War, Second World War, Vietnam, Op Banner, Falklands, right? So if you work it out to the month, there's 4 weekends in a month. Each weekend will be dedicated to a specific piece of history. Does that sound fair to everyone? So you're not all jumping down my throat going, why are you always only doing Op Banner? And why are you always only doing World War Two? And why are you always only doing Vietnam? Because that's the schedule. That's what we're going to be doing. Happy? If not, off you jog on, lads. Stan was at Stan was shopping. Stan, why didn't you tell me you were shopping? Because I had a shopping list. Just got a shop today. I spent lots. Had a pick in the back office. They had 5 and 6 East German. Helmets might be worth giving them a phone in case they have ones that you're looking for. Have the ones in size 60 because Stan has a massive noggin. Yeah. No, you were shopping. Oh, Andrew was shopping. So yeah, guys. So if you're in the area, if Steve is still there, he can put up the actual name of the place because I keep getting it wrong. Chiltern Open Air Museum. I can't pronounce it. I'm Irish. I'm sorry. English people have strange ways of pronouncing things, just like he did when he came here. I'm only joking. Snowflakes, please calm down now. So, couple of items that we are talking about tonight. Oh, just open the drawers. That have came my way that people have been inquiring about via messages and stuff. And I had the stuff ready, but now I can't remember where the bloody hell I put it. Yes, this is one thing that was asked. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. Clasp knife. Standard issue British knife, right? If Steve is there and Andrew's there, if there any more World War II buffs that are there, they'll probably know better than I would. But people have been asking me about this clasp knife. How can you tell whether it is a World War II version or a later version? And what I was told was, if you open the can opener side of it, it is the earlier version if there's no bottle opener there. It is the later version or the post World War II version or mid World War II version if there's a bottle opener there. Right? This has a name for it, something spike, Milson spike. It's for dealing with ropes and things like that. For opening knots and stuff. Now, so that is how I was told, or how I was shown to tell if your knife was early war, late war, or post World War II. Merlin spike. That's the one I was thinking of. There we go. That's the Merlin spike. Thank you, Andrew. Now, there is also a way, apparently, but my one is so bloody old that it is rubbed off. But sometimes the blades are stamped, but my blade isn't stamped. So, I don't know. But yeah, so that's your World War II clasp knife. I need to sharpen it. This has been, it's been lovingly used and abused. But yeah, and always close a knife away from me, lads. Knife safety. Make sure your fingers are out of the way and you don't lose anything. Andrew Johnson, cheers. Yeah, I really should go up there as he always has more stuff than is on eBay shop. Just got a pair of 10 by 50 Dren's Grullish binoculars. I believe they're German binoculars. Forgive my German. No, no raging ridicule, but H64 6,400. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but they sound like good binoculars. So yeah, so binoculars. Next thing we're going to talk about, as in H64,000 on German binoculars means that they should have a ranging. Okay. So basically, the ranging reticule should be there, but no. Other people have been asking me about this, the Polish cap that I did. Rookie Gov something. I can't. Forgive me. I'll remember the name of it in a second. See the way they said that they didn't see that it looks like a square on the top. See the way that it actually looks like a square on the top, right? Now, this was worn by uh, officers, NCOs, and even enlisted men, right? But this part of it, they were asking what this part of it is. This part, obviously, because you're Polish, right? And it gets cold in Poland, can actually come down to cover the mouth, face, and chin strap. So the chin strap. So it's actually a fairly. So it covers your ears, covers your neck. It's a fairly substantial cap. And then to fold it back up, it's actually a little weird to fold it back up because it actually folds inside itself. And I'll probably make hams of it now doing it. Jim Timber's in. Hello, Jim. Jim, how do you pronounce this thing again? Ruskov Ketch. Ruskov. I'll think of it in a minute. My Polish isn't the best. No. So there it is all tucked back up again. So those of you that were asking me what was the idea of the buckle on the front of it, it is a chin strap that can fold down into a hat, or it folds the neck of it down. So there we go. Now I'll answer some more questions, and then I will talk to you about more stuff that has come up. What app is not wanting to attach myself to my phone? A Roscoff car. Okay, whatever. I don't know. There we go. Uh, Hello, Stan. Hello, Jim Timber. Jim, talk to IT technical advisor there, Stan. You might be able to sort you out. Rough car. Rough car. I can't pronounce it. I have to listen to it again before I can pronounce it. So that was the next item that people were asking about. Third item. We're covering all these and then we'll start asking your questions. Third item people have been asking about, and it is coming on its own individual video. This, what was the helmet I was wearing the last day on the live stream? It is this. It is the Bulgarian M36C that was gifted to me by Stan for Christmas because it fits my head, right? Ah. And they were asking, John, Bulgaria wasn't in World War II. Bulgaria was in World War II, guys. Look it up in the history, right? This is a World War II shell, right? Little brief history. Little brief history about the Bulgarians in World War II. They were on the German side at the start, switched sides, a bit like the Italians, and went to the Russians. Plain and simple, right? This was the stand, the helmet I have. There's 4 versions. Forgive me if I'm not. This is the C version. Yeah, this is the C version. Um, there is an individual video coming up on this where I talk a bit about it. So there we go. It is Bulgarian M36C helmet. Rock, Roktivkar. Ruftivkar. Bulgaria was not invented yet. Yeah, exactly. Bulgaria was not invented yet. But yeah, oh, people are asking me some very, very serious, silly things. I actually had. I don't know if Stan or any of you guys that are there that have YouTube channels. Um, I came across a troll. Everyone has them. Everyone gets them. But his comments actually made no sense. And when I tried to educate him, uh, things got just worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I just left it off. And then he goes back, okay, basically keyboard warrior moment for 5 minutes. Random email came back the other way. Um, and I don't know if I can even talk about it because it actually vexed me so much. I was like, if I could get down the other end of this email, I'd throttle you, right? He basically made it out. He was saying that, okay, I know there's English people present, and I understand, and I'm not trying to be political about this, and I'm not trying to upset people about this. But he basically said in his email, only educated because of the English, right? So that threw me off, first of all. So then when I started to talk to him about the land of saints and scholars, uh, the monks being able, like the Book of Kells, how there was such massive education in Ireland prior to all of this nonsense between the Irish and English. Um, he just did not want to listen. Just shut down completely. That it was all, I don't know, fairy tale, folklore, myths and legends, Game of Thrones crap. And I just was literally astounded by someone's ignorance when it came to that. Yeah, so that's the type of individual I've been dealing with lately. So it's been a strange one. Sorry for going off on a rant there, guys. I hope you're all still not gone mental on me. So I hope that I have tried to answer people's questions that have asked me questions over the last few. There was the Bulgarian helmet. There was the Polish Roga Kivka. That's it. Roga Kivka. Now I remember. Roga Kivka. Um, I got my share of trolls too. Sad how some people live their lives. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Um, Roga Kivka. Roga Kivka, Jim. That's it. Which means corners in Polish. Um, yeah, it absolutely boggled me. I was dealing with something like that. So, sorry, getting back to subjects. Rugged Kifka we've covered. Bulgarian helmet we've covered. Clasp knife we have covered. There was something else that I was meant to cover. Oh, yes. Now, YouTube, before you all have a canary and start giving out to me over pew pews, this is a airsoft copy. It is as much good as a paperweight. It doesn't actually shoot anything. Well, it shoots plastic ball bearings, but it's fully registered and everything. It's nothing, right? People have been asking me, John, what's the difference between the Irish FN and the British SLR? So, right, I'm going to try and break it down to you very, very simply. This bit here at the end is known as the muzzle flash hider. On the Irish one, it was completely different. It was actually a bird cage one, but it was only about that length compared to this one. And it was fitted with a grenade sight or a grenade attachment that it could fire what was called the Enurga grenade off the end of it. And it was a different bayonet catch. There was what was called the Enurga grenade sight was fitted here, which was just basically a piece of metal that you take out, turn around, and you could flip up, and you could adjust to whatever you wanted to. The stamping on this is in inches, whereas the Fabrique Nationale, the Irish one, was millimeters and centimeters difference. Okay, safe and semi. Right, Irish had fully automatic. Never ever used it, but they had fully automatic. Right. You will also see what were known as the half rifles, whereas the Irish actually sized their rifles. I don't know if the English did it. You will see them with a timber stock and a plastic forend, or you will see them with a timber forend and a plastic stock. That was just the Irish way of they had different butt stocks that they could adjust the butt to the soldier. And how they would do it was they would put the butt of the gun into the soldier's arm, make a 90-degree angle, and if your finger could touch the trigger, that was the right size for you. So this rifle is actually the right size for me. So that's how you could check the stock of a rifle. Okay, that's that covered. Some few questions coming here, so we'll answer them. Had I've had some right oddballs on my channel, plus negative opinions from family and friends regarding my collection habits. Good job, sir. It does mean corners, and there's a Polish cake named the same. Oh, very interesting. I fired the SLR. I missed that. I missed the target. Ralph, hello. How are you? What do you know about the Devonshire Regiment in World War Two? I will be quite honest with you. I know absolutely nothing about the Devonshire Regiment during World War Two, but Living History UK, who's probably still floating around there, would be the man to ask, because that man is a wealth of World War Two information. Him, Simon Moore, Jake Brown would be your lads to ask in relation to World War Two history. I don't know anything about the Devonshire Regiment, and I'll be quite honest. Stan's channel is awesome. Don't worry about the negativity oddballs. Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes I laugh at them, and sometimes I'd be just going, "What the hell?" I had another guy tell me the other day. What was it he said? Oh, it was on the video I did on Semper Fidelis. I had a another guy comment on the video I did on soldiers in Northern Ireland, Irish soldiers in Northern Ireland on the border, and he said that how many how many informers were in the Irish army, and Dad's army could have done a better job. And I was just thinking to myself, I never disputed the fact that there has been cases of Irish soldiers colluding with the IRA. I have never disputed the fact that there was British soldiers found guilty of colluding with UVF, UDA, UD, whatever, right? That is a fact. They did happen. It is recorded in court manuscripts. This has happened. Um, but what has that got to do with the history of what a soldier looked like? Um, what way they operated, or what their uniforms looked like of that time scale. The video wasn't about the political side of it. I try to stay away from the political nonsense of Op Banner, because it is a political minefield. Um, when you start talking about stuff like that, that's when I talk about Op Banner. I always say Op Banner or the Troubles, Derry, Londonderry. Um, it is such a minefield when it comes to talking about stuff about Op Banner. It's crazy. Jake, evening. Hello, Jake. How are you? Welcome to the madness. Cheers, Jim. Onwards and upwards. Exactly. Living History UK. Hello, Jake. Yeah. So that's the nonsense that's been going on in relation to some of the comments that I've got lately over doing some silly things. Well, not silly things on my behalf, but silly things that people are looking at videos and they're going, "What? Makes no sense. Why put up a comment like that about a video that doesn't make any sense?" I've been watching A Soldier's Story from 1984 with Denzel Washington. There was a 221 arm patch in it that I can't find on the internet. Really strange. I don't know what you're actually referring to. A Soldier Story. I must look it up. 221 arm patch. I'm not sure. Do you remember Oddball from Kelly's Hero Stand? Yeah, exactly. He was an oddball. Um, but that's it. Like, things were. It's a strange minefield. I'm actually not wearing a drinking cap. Sorry, guys, I'm fucking drooling. I'm actually not wearing a drinking cap. So we'll put on a drinking cap. For those of you that don't know, this is an Irish Army helmet that has been personalised because it's mine, that I wore when I was in the military. You can see here on the back, there's actually some graffiti on it as well. This was mine. It is actually a Mark 6 helmet. because we wore the Oralite ones, which were not very, very comfortable. So we would private purchase these if we could, and we would wear them because they were a lot more better. A lot more better, that's great English. They were a lot better, a lot more comfortable, especially when you were wearing headsets and stuff like that. So we bought them and we used them. We changed out the chin straps from the Marks because the Mark 6 helmet chin straps. Has my head gotten smaller since I wore these or bigger since I wore these? Possibly. Ugh. Yeah, my head has definitely gotten weirder since I wore this. Jesus, the chin strap is everywhere. Now, there we go. That's better. Alright. So, as you can see, this chin strap is actually the Israeli chin strap off the Orla, whereas the Mark 6 helmets was a lot more flimsier. It was just this leather cup. So we found these ones more comfortable, so we wear them out. No. So, there we go. That is the Mark 6 Irish Army private purchase helmet. So, I'll actually put on a lighter drinking cap. This is baseball or my Israeli ship cap because it's a lot more comfortable to wear while we're drinking tea. Where have we got? US arm patch from World War II. Woof woof. It is with the negative vibes. The badge is up. The bridge is up. No, it ain't. Always the negative. Always with the negative vibes. Ralph, what is the best? What is the best of tastiest Irish drink? Guinness, without a doubt, Guinness. And don't you have to get Guinness in Ireland because the muck that we export to other countries and sell it as Guinness, it's not Guinness, lads. You have to come to Ireland and actually drink proper Guinness, and it has to be a 2 pint pour. And what a 2 pint pour is basically is the pint is poured in two goes, not one, not just a straight pour. It is poured in two. You pour it to the harp, let it settle, but you angle it if you get me. You pour it to the harp, let it settle, and then you pour off the last bit of it. Guinness, it has to be Guinness. I've just bought a very large British M6 Mark 6A helmet with MTP cover. It's the most historical recent helmet in my collection. Very good, Stan. 6A is that one actually. 6B is the one with they changed the inside of it if I remember correctly. Loved him in Courage Under Fire. Kelly's Heroes is my all-time favorite war film. Ralph Guinness, Jim, good man, Jim, well done. Podrick, good movie. Where Eagles Dare, yes, good movie. Jim, Ralph Guinness, good idea. Guinness, I can. You can get cider as well. Cider, when it's exported, it's called Magners. We have it called Bulmers here. I wouldn't be a cider man. I'd be more of a Guinness man. You pour it half, let it relax, and then the rest. If the bear lady fancied you, she'd used to leave the heart on the foam. Exactly. Do you know why the Guinness is poured in 2 pints? Because it's of the people say it's not actually. It's the date is the man underneath it. It's not. It's the actual time because it was 5 minutes before the Angelus, and that's the reason it was a 2 pint pour. Is because when they pour the first half of the Angelus come on, he had to bless himself, say the Angelus, and then finish off the pour. There you go. That's actually not true. That's just a Irish joke, but there you go. Thoughts on Ireland's edge? I mean, Who do you think they were trying to upstage Guinness? Oh, Ireland's Edge. It's muck. Oh, absolute muck. And Conor McGregor apparently has come out with this stout now as well. I haven't tried it. Is that McGregor's one? Edge, World's Edge or Ireland's Edge or whatever the hell it's called. A6 is the black one, which was made from the Kevlar. Yeah, exactly. Or 6A, 2005 onwards. Are there any good Irish liquors that are sweet? Have we gone from a history channel now to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting? This is what I would like to know. Military history, alcohol. I can see how they fit together. Liquors that are sweet. Not really a spiritsman, so I can't really answer that question. Andrew is Scot. He'd probably know about sweet liquors, but I wouldn't know any. Yeah, no. Actually, getting back to the military history side of it, we were talking here before a few live streams back about a guy called Don Tidy. If any of you don't know who Don Tidy is, Don Tidy was he the president of Tesco's or Dunn's or Quinsworth or whatever it was called at the time, or was he the CEO? But he was kidnapped by the IRA. Uh, he was kidnapped by the IRA. There was an Irish soldier and a policeman killed in the rescuing or the search for Don Tidy. Uh, I know people in that area. I know of individuals in that area that would possibly help me out with doing a documentary type style video on that area. Would people be interested in seeing that type of a video? Because I know other channels and other people do them, and I don't want to take away from what they do. If you get me, because YouTube is so small. Lads, remember this now. The community that we have in YouTube for military collectors is so small that when other channels are doing, Simon does his style, Living History UK does their style, Jake does his style. We try not to. Well, I definitely try not to impeach on how guys are doing things because it takes from their viewers, and the community is so small that we should all be able to get on with each other, and we should be able to help each other out. Living History UK, I have no problem in recommending his stuff because I've tried his stuff and I've used his stuff, and his videos and stuff that he does are fantastic. Um, Jake's stuff is fantastic as well that he does. Simon's stuff is fantastic, and I help those guys out, and I talk to those guys, and if they're looking for Irish kit or if I can help them out with Irish stuff, I will. Same with Stan, same with Jim. Um, so I try not to take away from the style. When they do a specific way of doing things, I try and look away from it and do it my own way of doing things. Um, but would people be interested in me doing? Because I did like a quick, I won't say rough documentary type thing on how so hard it was to secure the border in the north, and the views on that is fantastic. That's probably that my prismatic compass, my Irish soldier in Northern Ireland, and that video I did on how hard the border was to secure. Probably one of my top five videos in relation to views and things like that. So I'm just wondering, would people be happy with doing more styles of those videos? Um, where are we going? Guinness. You pour it in a, you pour it in half, let relax. Oh yeah, we read that one. Thoughts on Ireland's age. Hi, I'm Jake, and I'm a khaki-holic. Exactly. Do you Murphy's stout? My grandfather was an alcoholic. I am joking. And my grandmother was an alcoholic, and she used to love that military drink. Murphy's was Murphy's bought out by somebody I can't remember. Um, my wife is a sweet liqueur. Uh, um, spent some lovely quality, well resting time in these parts. Yeah, exactly. In my parts, I do have people up around that area. And Patrick, I know you're from up around that area. You might be able to help out with it if people would go for that idea, and we could go around that area and look for and just do a quick video on it. Thanks, John. No problem, Jake. You do stuff you do is interesting, and people do like it. Army drinking time, Patrick. I would be happy to help and point out where everything happened. Exactly, Patrick. I do have family and stuff up there as well. Depends on timing, though. Yeah, there's no panic. Sure, you're a farmer. It's not happening around now anyway. Sure, you've no crops to plant or stuff to cut or anything or sheep to shear or whatever it is farmers do. What do you think of James Colburn, an Irishman in the movie Fistful? Oh, Ralph, I don't. I must seriously sit down and chat with you because I don't know half of these movies that you're coming up with. I must look up that one as well, actually. I'd say do it, especially if you enjoy doing videos like that. James Conway had a voice. Khabib, well, hello, hurry, Khabib. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, um, I don't know. We'll put it to a vote. We'll give it a vote. So if you think next minute, we'll say if you think I should do documentary style type videos on things, let me know by just giving me a thumbs up. Because I know Steve and Jake and Simon are extremely interested in Irish history, War of Independence type stuff. I could do massive amount of videos on that. There was the Renine ambush, which is 40 minutes up the road for me. The local RIC barracks, which is the Royal Irish Constabulary Barracks, was 5 minutes down the road. Where Cromwell had his camp on his barbecuing expedition up along the west coast, and sorting out the price of properties in Ireland in the 1600s or whenever he was around, is just down the road also. Sorry, something just popped up on my phone. I just want to check see what it was. That's just down the road. So yeah, so I mean, like I could cover a massive amount of Irish Civil War type stuff. Video going up now on the battle and assault jerkins. If you guys are interested. Excuse me. Yeah, Jake, go check out Jake's videos, lads. Jake does very, very good videos. I watch it now after this live stream, Jake. A Fistful, 1972, is a track online western set in 1916. Cumberland plays an Ironman who joins Mexican rebels. No, I don't know that film. Let's look it up. Time is more in relation that college, but I believe there's a few things that RT missed. For example, the getaway car may still be in the woods. Oh, very interesting. We'll have to go look at that. That'll be great to see. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Oh, okay. So yeah, so we'll definitely do things like that. People seem to want to do that, so we will do that. Best Irish actor was Richard Harris, Heroes of Telemark. Richard Harris actually came from Limerick, which would be the next city to me. So you're talking 40 minutes down the road. If any of you ever want to see an Irishman get back at somebody, look at what Richard Harris did in an interview. Just type in Richard Harris revenge and it'll come up on YouTube. Uh, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically he tells a story of how he got back at another actor that basically belittled him, and it's the best way that you'll ever see somebody getting back at somebody else, and it's Irish humour to the last. Jim Timber too, no Price. No, Pierce Brosnan. No, Pierce Brosnan. But yeah. So lads, getting back to military history, is there anything? Because we talk about being subscriber based, we talk about being doing things free. Is there anything you, the viewer, would like to see me covered? And the likes of Living History UK there, who's fresh enough to the channel, Ralph, Jake, Stan, Steve, Andrew, all the rest of you, you're more than welcome. Guys, I want to hear from you now in the next few minutes of stuff that you know that I have here behind me, or you stuff that you've seen around me that I haven't covered that you would like me to see me cover on videos, or stuff that you find interesting. Best Irish actor was Richard Harris. Oh, yes, right. James Cumberland's Australian in The Great Escape was truly awful. Yeah, some bad accents in some videos. Um, I do actually have my 77 set that I want to redo a video on, which sure I think I should do soon, coming up. The best who was Bond was Roger Moore. Just best James Bond actually, I believe, was the last lad they had. Can't think of his fucking name off the top of my head. But I believe he was the last James Bond, I believe. Definitely Para Riot helmet. I meant James. Review more World War II gear and books. Yes, that can be done. We have a lot of World War II stuff. My haversack for Jake. The right helmet is there. Actually, the Para one is there. That is a reproduction made by a friend of mine called Gabriel. If any of you want reproduction Para Riot helmets, Mark IVs, he reconditions them. Let me know. And Cromwell Riot helmets, he reconditions those as well. So if you have one or if you want one, let me know and I can give you the details and he can sort it out from there. My haversack is here. Andrew got me the cup. It is actually an original 1952 dated brown one. I do have the white one here with tea in it, so I can alternate from the start of the war to the end of the war. I'm not going to spoil it, but Living History UK, I got a ration pack off him that he makes, and I got an emergency ration tin that he makes. And you know what? I'm not going to unpack this now because it's all too much misery trying to put it all back together again. I do have a review of them coming up. But Simon from Rifleman Moore has already got one done, so I'm going to wait. His is done first, and then I'm going to put mine up. But it is a fantastic piece of kit, lads. Watch out for the review; it will be coming up. Daniel Craig, that's the lad I'm looking for. Daniel Craig is not Russian. Daniel Craig is Scottish, I believe. What is the haversack packed out with? It is packed off. I'll do it 1 second. So, have you got a Polish? Have I got a Polish Collins uniform from the Air Force? I have. I don't have a Polish Colonel's uniform from the Air Force, but you have. I don't have it. 1952 Korean War. I could do Korean War bits and bobs. I suppose I could. So, haversack. Right. World War II. Haversack. We have, on the outside, we have a mug. Stan, I'm going to kill you now for this because I've put everything, take everything out and put everything back in again. No, this isn't exactly packed as I would carry it, but it is packed to keep stuff in it. So I know where it is. This is an original haversack. The date is barely visible up in it, at the top of it here, but it is visible. Now, first thing out of it is just a cheap IKEA white towel. That's all it is. Cost me £2 or £3, €2 or €3. I can't remember exactly. So it is a white towel, right? This is packed for if I was to go to an event that I could empty. So we'll say like if I want to live in history event, right? And I can bring this I can throw it out on the ground and I can show people what a soldier carries of that time period. But I'm not doing World War II there because I don't have all the equipment yet. So we'll sort it out eventually, and we'll show you what's in it. So in my big mess tin, I have the actual ration pack. Now this is empty, but I have the tape put back on it. This is empty because I've eaten what's in it for the review. But yeah, so I'll put the tape back on it anyway. But this is the ration pack that you get off of Living History UK. Okay. Fantastic piece of kit, fantastic representation, and the stuff in it doesn't taste actually that bad. You'll have to see that in the review. Now these are 1984 mist tins, but they're pretty much the same as the originals. Unless you measure them, you're not going to know the difference. And I don't know how the original ones are, so I'm not going to use them. And then on the other side, I have my small mist tin. I have my gloves in it. I have the emergency ration tin. There you go. The chocolate out of this, lads, is fantastic. Whoa. I have to get the recipe. Chocolate out of that with tea, fantastic. Excuse me. 1 second. Oh. I have this little box. I'm not sure actually what it is. But it's just a little tin. Inside it then I have a matchbox. Period correct matchbox. But inside in the matchbox I actually have my razor blades for my shaving razor. I have a little Bakelite matchbox with actual matches in it. So that's what's in there. Then in the bottom of the tin, to stop it all from rattling, I have my cap comforter. If I was to wear this tactically or use this tactically or correctly, I would probably have that in my pocket, my gloves in my pocket, my cap, everything to be here actually will be in my pocket. If I'm being correct about it. So that's what's in my little mess tin. Stan, I'm going to kill you now for me take all this out. No, I'm only messing, Stan, I won't kill you. Right. Put this back in there. And this was actually designed as well to be carried in the larger of the two mess tins. There is another one that you can get. I do believe Living History UK actually stocks them at the minute as well. Is the assault ration box, I think it's called, and it's stripy. It's red and white stripes. Well, one was meant to fit in the big one, and one is meant to fit in the smaller one. So yeah, so there you go. Ooh, pop this back in because it's fallen out. This is my soldier's hold all. Now, if there is something in this that I forgot the other day, because I was actually showing it to Steve, but I do actually have it, so I need to put it in. This is the soldier's hold all. So I'll just hold it up and I'll go through what's in it. So, soldier's hold all. We have toothpaste, toothbrush, razor, wobbler, shaving foam or shaving stick, spare laces, comb, Bakelite, button stick. That will be taken out eventually. I just have it in here for convenience. You wouldn't really carry that in the field. Carbolic soap or antiseptic soap, and a little tub of boot polish. Right. So that all is in the soldier's hold all. Put that to one side. Next little packet is just the size of the backpack, so they're easy to get. Is knife, fork, and spoon. Period correct. Knife, fork, and spoon. And I actually believe this one is from Sheffield. It's from Sheffield, actually. Good Sheffield steel. And then down the bottom, then I just have a reproduction jumper, V-neck jumper. There is one or two things missing off of this. There is the gas cape or the ground sheet or whatever you want to call it. That should be folded over and across the top of it. I don't have one. It will be the next purchase. But I'm trying to save to get a uniform at the moment off of a Panther store or Central, what price Glory Central Europe, um, because they seem to be the recommendation that everyone is going to get, but their stuff is expensive, so I'm trying to save a bit of cash together to get that. So that is that. Thing that I forgot that should be in here is my little housewife. That should be in here as well. So it's just a little needle and thread, little balls of twine, things like that. So now that I remember it, I will put this back in here as well also. Because I showed this to Steve the other day and I actually didn't see this in there and I was going, where the hell is that? And then I went looking for it and I found it. So this is my housewife when things weren't politically correct and you were allowed to call things actual funny names. Now, fold it all back up again. Excuse me. A touch of a runny nose today. I don't know what it's from. There we go. There we go. Everything packed up again and ready to go. So we'll just hold on. Now, you know what that was I got, but it's your fault because you've been me up my bag. Where would I miss? Stan, where's Stan? There we go. Stan has to be done that right. Okay. Korean, yeah, Korean War. We could possibly do Korean War. Sorry, guys. I'll kick you off my phone. Craig looks like Vladimir Putin. Lee Trump's Republican story, 1900 to 2000, was about 15 to 20 pages and untidy, well worth to read. Oh, let's look up that. Rain cape under the flap. I do need a rain cape for under the flap because I don't have a rain cape or a gas cape or whatever the hell they were called. How much does German World War II dressing pack cost? I don't know, Ralph, if I'm quite honest. Uh, reproduction, I suppose. Are you talking about the field dress now? A couple of pounds, I suppose, maybe 5 or maybe 15 pounds. I don't know. I really don't know. How to anger an Irishman, ask him to unpack his haversack. The latest James Bond is from Chester. They make a good chest too. When I eventually get a mannequin for my 58 pattern webbing, I'm going to fill the pouches with cardboard or old clothes, etc. Yeah, they do look better when they're packed out. I used to wear 58 in the RMR, a heavy kit when wet, very heavy. Yeah, they do. The 58 pattern stuff was notorious for when it got wet. Uh, uh, and it used to burn. I did actually. Luckily, I didn't have to wear 58 pattern, but I had to wear PLCE, and PLCE used to give you massive burns across your back when you were running with it, and your hips if you didn't have it fitted correctly. Where have we gone? I'd fill it with wee books, then works well. Yeah, could work too. Sorry, John, it's revenge for jokes about my massive cranium. You're okay, Stan, there's no problem. That's a top idea, Podrick, thanks. Awesome, carbolics. Yeah, exactly, carbolic soap. Can't beat it, kills everything. Could you eat or smoke something from World War II as a review? I am eating the I do eat the contents of that ration pack that Living History UK provided. They are edible. He sells them as not being their museum quality reproductions or whatever, but they are edible. You can eat them, and I did eat it, and you will see a review of that coming up. What's of kit? Uh, Housewife kit. Yeah, Hussoff kit. Yeah, certainly adds realism when you're doing run stand. Yeah, we used to load ours with rocks and books and every bloody thing. My mannequin setup is for World War Two Swedish Home Guard Lex shoulder board, so I'm going to use some spare Bundy artillery ones I've got. Why not? Everything in my display is a little off. If it's your own private display, and like I don't have issues with guys doing things like that. If it's in their own private display and no one cares, and it's behind closed doors, and they're not trying to fob it off and go, "Oh yeah, uh, this is 100% original," and it's not. No one cares. I don't see why someone should care about your own private collection. If you're not trying to fob it off as being, if you're saying, "Oh look, it's a representation," and the shoulder boards aren't correct, they're actually Bundeswehr ones, but I don't have them. They look similar or whatever, but that's fine. But when you're going out to the public and you're going to an event or you're talking at a show and you're fobbing stuff like this off, saying it's original when it's not original, that's when I have a problem with it. But other than that, I don't care what people do in their own privacy or for their own collections. Like he's got binoculars that I just threw around his neck. They're not army. They're not anything. They're a set of cannons that I just put around his neck. So what? They're just binoculars. Um, there are many German for my photos for sale on eBay. Are they real? Uh, the simplest question is I was watching at YouTube. I was watching an established dealer in German military stuff there the other day on YouTube, and he was talking about stuff on eBay and this and that, where to get stuff and American stuff and German stuff, specifically German stuff. If you look at all the German stuff on eBay for sale as original, right, 90% of that is probably forgeries or fakes. You, especially with the German stuff, the German World War Two stuff. I don't know why, but it has been forged for decades. I mean decades. So it is unless you put in the research, and unless you are 100%, talk to other collectors, talk to other guys that are in the area or other guys in the market or whatever that know German World War Two stuff. Go to shows. You need to go to auctions. The likes of big dealers in the UK, the likes of regimentals, that type of stuff. Go see those guys that are dealers in German stuff for decades. They can tell you what original stuff is and what reproduction stuff is. That's the only way you're going to learn. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you whether something is real or fake on YouTube or on eBay when I don't know enough about it. I could about that banner stuff, and I could about to a certain degree Vietnam stuff and World War Two stuff. Now that I'm getting into it, but and World War One stuff, but I just don't know enough to comment about American things or German things. Um, it's also because I have spare Swedish buttons with 3 crowns on. But there you go. No issue, no problems with that. I don't have a problem with anyone doctoring their collection to suit themselves. What would happen if you found an original World War Two photo with something weird on it? What would happen if you found an original World War Two photo with something weird on it? I don't understand what you mean. What would happen? Um, I don't understand what you mean. What would happen if you found something that was weird on it? Um, the World War Two kit is so expensive now. OMG, I'm Cold War, and that kit is getting big money now too. Yeah, I was talking to Dave actually. I don't know if Dave, I haven't seen Dave. I have actually. There's two people that are normally in that I haven't seen. And one is Dave, and one is Military Collectibles. Hasn't been around in a few weeks. Um, yeah, I was talking to Dave today in relation to doing Bundeswehr or DDR border guard. Just asking him advice about stuff or whatever. And I was looking up DDR border caps, P caps. Basically, one second. Basically, this cap with the green for the this is an officer's, but the one I was looking at was a regular ranks one. DDR or NVA caps for the border guards, which has got the green strip and the green piping around it, and they ranged everything from €27 to €60, uh, which was crazy because there was no consistency whatsoever in the pricing, which I found really like, to tell you the truth. Um, yeah, Cold War stuff is easier to get into. It is easier to get into. It's more plentiful too stuff. Cold War stuff. If people ask me, what would I start collecting in relation to military stuff? Because there's so much of an abundance of it, and because it is still classified as surplus, and because it is still very regularly cheap to get, would be Afghan stuff, Afghan or Iraq stuff. I tell people start collecting that now, and buy it in bulk because in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, that will be the collectibles. That will be the collectible military stuff that people will start to be collecting at that stage. Just like the Cold War stuff for us now, just like the World War Two stuff, the Vietnam stuff. They're starting to get harder to get. They're starting to get more in price. That stuff will go that way too. Um, if you found a photo with an important person that there are almost no photos of, that would be a very significant find if you did. Say if you found a picture of like Whitman that hadn't been published before or something like that, that would be a very significant find. Or Eichmann or even Hitler himself. If you found a picture of them that had never been published before, that would be a very significant find if you ask me. Your channel costs me a fortune, Stan, bro. As every time you review something I like, I have to have it. He does actually. He's cost me a fortune too as well. I got my border guard visor cap off yesterday for £5. Yeah, exactly. They're crazy. I was looking at them today, and they went from the cheapest one I found was €27, um, but it was midget size. It was 55. To the most expensive that I found was €56 or something like that. Mr. Timber, I'm really a DDR military surplus agent. Steel helmet von Sternberg. How are you talking? How are you taking? Now you are taking the piss. In my day, we used to live in a cardboard box by the side of the motorway. Um, did the Chinese police in the 90s have a hat similar to the DDR? The Hong Kong police, I believe, had a very smart uniform, and I can't remember what it was. A tan uniform. Hong Kong police. I can't remember exactly what they were, but I think they possibly did have a cap similar to the DDR. Cardboard luxury, hole in the road, DDR cap. Yeah, plus funds. Yeah, the DDR did. I think the DDR had stuff. Is Jake a military collector, or Jake and Living History UK still there? I just want to ask him a question about something if they're still floating around. There's one thing about steel mugs though is the tea doesn't stay warm in it very, very long, does it? Um, I'm just going to read a book about fun. Different. Oh, the madness has started. Um, the World War Two. Okay, World War Two. In Everybody knows about World War Two. Uh, what year do you classify as a World War Two collector? From 1939 to 1945? Because the reason I asked that is I was talking to a chap because I'm talking about I'm looking to maybe put together a Polish uniform. They classify World War Two as the minute Hitler took power. They learned that history from 1932 all the way through. Um, just an interesting one. If you want to think about that, what would you classify as World War Two? Would love an Afghan G or A uniform, one of those camel wall ones from the Soviet War era. It's pretty. They have all been used or disposed. Can see a few of them in A&A Police in the early 2000s. I'm sure if you went onto American eBay or something like that, you'd find them. Show me your berets. They're actually up there in a box. I'll do it for the next live stream if you want. I'll take them down and I'll show you one. I'll go through them all. I'll go through the whole box for you. Uh, I once bought a Belgian Panzer cap post-war at a flea market with a tank driving under the arch with a familiar with us with it. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. My dream is finding a DDR foliage side cap in my size. Well, I can dream, can't I? Like, what size are you? 60? 60, 60 centimeters, something in your size? I'm sure they're out there. 1936 was the Spanish Civil War, and it started from then. Exactly, that's my point. My point is, everyone sees the American or the World War Two, start of World War Two from 1939 to 1945, right? But the Japanese were kicking the bejesus out of China, I believe, at that stage already. Um, the Spanish Civil War. The Germans were involved in the Spanish Civil War. So, what is actually classified as the start of the war? Personally, Japanese invasion of Manchuria in the early 30s. There we go, Jake. That's what I'm talking about. So, would that be the start of it, or would you say 1932 when Hitler came to power? I don't know. Hmm. Perhaps you can put together the uniform of Dad's army, Captain Mannering style. They're not actually hard to put together, those uniforms, Captain Mannering's. Um, you can actually you can buy them a onesie version of them in most Halloween stores. It's like a onesie with a zip up the back of them. Jake has probably seen them, and Living History UK, I'm sure has seen them. Steve, I'm sure has seen them at shows and stuff like that. It's literally a onesie. I got a book called World War Two Artistic from 1970s. It's from 1931 to 1945, and I'm a 61 year old. Love it. Loaf. I'll have a look out because I'm sure I seen one there not so long ago in the size 60 for you. If I can find it, I'll let you know. Jesus, guys, it's 9:15. So we'll give it 15 minutes. So you have 15 minutes to bombard me with as many questions as you possibly want about the collection. And when you have that done, I'm going to log off for the night. Now, I'm going to give you a quick taster. We've talked about it already. This is Up Banner weekend, right? So the videos this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, will be about Up Banner, okay? That is a taster of what is coming up this weekend, okay? It is scheduled for this weekend. This weekend is Up Banner weekend. The following weekend will be World War Two, World War One, and then Vietnam, and then we will be back to Up Banner, okay? So that's how we are working. So this is a taster for the weekend. Okay, everyone happy now? I've seen them and they're friggin' hilarious. Yeah, the onesie Captain Mannering uniforms. I'd say 1914 with a long break in the middle was the start of World War Two. Possibly, yeah. Well, like think of all the conflicts that you had in between that. You had the Irish Civil War, you had the War of Independence, you had the Russian Revolution, you had the Spanish Civil War, you had Japan massacre Manchuria, you had there was a rake of different most of Africa was in flames at that stage. Um, yeah, so there was lots of conflicts going on between the First World War and World War Two. They literally First World War got rid of what was known as the Empire Destruction. So all the empires, French, Belgians, Dutch, all their empires started to crumble after the First World War, and the Second World War really finished them off. Uh, what is the meaning of life? Seven. I think that's the meaning. Ralph, World War Two officially started in September 1930. Yes, Ralph, we understand that World War Two officially started in 1930, 1st of September 1939. But we're just talking about some people in their learning or in their studies would say World War Two started earlier or later than 1939. Just a topic of conversation, really. I've seen those Dad's Army costumes. They look hilarious. They do. They are hilarious. I must get one of them for the crack, and do like a review on it for the fun of it. Um, how exciting! Oh, the mannequin. Yeah, it's coming up at the weekend. If it's possible by law, would you own live firearms as an historical ones that you could use in the range as people do in the US? Hell yes. I would love to have a real SMLE or a real AK or a real M4 or a Thompson or something, but the gun laws in Ireland I can't. But yeah, I'd love to have them. It'd be great crack. Um, where have we gone? Don't forget the aqueduct. Yeah, exactly. Uh, people wear them at shows to get reenactor discount, which pisses me off. Yeah, that's a big thing that I seen that used to bug me at shows here was people would come dressed as civilians. They would have a waistcoat on, collarless shirt, pair of slacks, and a pair of black shoes, and a flat cap. And they would arrive to shows, and because they were, I'm a historical figure or a historical representation of what the civilians look like in this time period, they would get entry into that show for minimal price because they were a reenactor. But they had nothing to reenact. They wouldn't reenact anything. They wouldn't ask questions. They wouldn't answer anything. They'd literally walk around all the trader stalls, get what they could, and zip out the door again. And that used to bug me. And I'm sure that's what Jake is talking about as well. Wait, there's a discount for reenactors. I'm going to the wrong shows. Some shows do, some shows don't. Germans in Africa World War One, and just after up to all the sorts of nonsense involving civilians as well in the local revolts. Yeah, exactly. There was lots of periods of stuff gone in mental. Weimar period, 1923. But yeah. I'd like to have a GPMG fully working would keep the mother-in-law on her toes. GPMG, point .5 Browning, or 50 cal, whichever you want to call them. Point .5 working would be great crack. Yeah. Actually, sorry, if I could have, if I had all the money in the world, I would love Saracen. Or a Saracen and a Land Rover would be my two items, prize items that I would have for my Op Banner collection. What is the most expensive helmet in my collection? Really like your live streams. You learn so much and it's very funny. Greetings from Sweden. Hello, welcome to the madness. My MRT1. Um, most expensive helmet in my collection. Most expensive helmet in my collection. Would probably be my original World War II M1 that I'm looking around. The Cromwell helmets, sorry, the Cromwell helmet, which is this one here in the middle, they go for about £150, depending what condition they're in. The Mark IV riot helmet, which is there in the corner, can go anything. So I wouldn't really classify that as value because it's no historical value. It has monetary value, how much it cost me to make it, but historical doesn't have a value. To get an original one of them, you'd be talking two and three and £400 because they're hen's teeth to try and find them. Mark Six riot helmets, easy enough to find. Same, £50-60 to get you one of them. The M1s, Mark One helmets can go from anything to £10, £20, £50 to the original, which my original cost me. My original reproduction or original restoration cost me £200. But it's an original liner as well on the inside. There is a video. I do have a video on this. It will be published. I have it done. It's edited in the whole lot. It's just in my little public or non-public site. This would be probably my most expensive one. This cost me £200 at the time to have it restored. Everything in it is original. My next expensive one would be this, which is my APH5 flight helmet. Now it is, I do have the piece that goes here for the shield, but I'm missing some bits and bobs. This is a restoration project in itself. When this is restored, you're talking possibly £200 and £300 for this. And then the next most expensive one I would have would be this one, which is my original Vietnam era M1 helmet, completely original as well. It's got original cigarettes, toilet paper, can opener, spoon, and the bottle is original, but what's inside it is just water because the mosquito repellent eats the plastic. So it is original. Everything in this is original as well. So that'd be probably the relation of my expensive to non-expensive stuff. No, where have we gone? But thanks for the question. That's a good question actually. And hello from Sweden. I like Sweden. I've been to Sweden a few times actually, to Stockholm. Do you have 59 era version Iron Cross as the veteran version? No, I don't. My German collection is very, very minute to World War II stuff. It's mainly British stuff that I have. Look on YouTube called Fitter Mate. He's from Yorkshire and he keeps buying tanks and armored vehicles, doing them up and driving them around his farm. Awesome. Oh, I must look up him. Cromwells have gotten mad prices. They have actually. They've gotten mad. I haven't seen the last time I've seen them. I haven't seen the last time that I've seen them. I've some case. In some cases, the Great War technology ended in 1919 for the British, with the Russians' revolution, with troops being sent in aid of the White Russians. Exactly. People British sent soldiers to help in Russia. Yeah, it is. It's very nice. It's good restoration. The guy that did it does fantastic jobs on them. Helmet porn. Man, Stan, sit down, Stan. American M1 helmets are crazy expensive. Thank you so much for showing. There's no problem. If you want me to show anything in the collection, I'll show it to you. There's no hassle there, though. No problem. Yeah, that Vietnam lead is awesome. Yeah, I do like it, and it fits fantastically well. Stan now is cursing me right now at the moment because he can't get anything to fit his melon. And all this artwork and craziness was already on it when I got it, so I didn't change anything. I don't know if it's been put on it artificially or what, but yeah. Um, is the turtle helmet behind you World War Two? Two. No, that is dated. That one up there is dated 50. Oh, you're talking about this one? No, that is. It's 50 something. Why can't I see when I have a light when I went on? '56, 1956. Oh, get up here, boy. Stay. There we go. Now, I've just bought a cotton Swedish flag from the 1970s. It's going on the loft ceiling. Savage. Um, Sweden's a savage place. If any of you don't, I recommend going to Sweden again. I've been there 3 or 4 times. I love Sweden actually. I like Swedish blonde girls, and I'm now single. Oh no, Stan or Jim, sorry to hear that. But if you're happy, who cares? Um, pour some cold water on yourself, Mr. Timber, and stop acting like Lewis Phillips. I say, sir. Uh, glad to hear that Stan likes Swedish stuff. Stan loves Swedish stuff. Stan has a Swedish mannequin, border Swedish border. Right, guys, it is 21:28. So I'll give you 2 minutes to say your goodbyes, and we're logging out for the night. If everyone is happy with that, I will see you next Friday at 8 o'clock for the normal live stream and madness. Um, there will be videos coming up tomorrow and Sunday. It is the Op Banner / Northern Ireland Troubles weekend. So it is Op Banner this week, World War One next week, World War Two the following week, and Vietnam the last week, and then we're back to Op Banner again. Ta-da for now, you Irish beauty. Hey, you sweet talker, you. See you all next week. Lads, love ye, leave ye, and I'll see you all. Enjoy yourselves and have a great one. Well, Stan, embarrassed. Stan embarrassed us all. Stan always embarrasses us. Stan's hard to embarrass anyone. They're made by the Hungarians for the Finns. Right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you all next week. Stan, help Jim sort out a WhatsApp or something for his phone so we can all get in contact with him and add him to the group. Great show again. Good to see you all. See you all next week, lads. See you all again. Have a good time, and see you soon.